Hey guys, I'm excited to bring you something a little bit different today. I'm going to share with you a really important part of my golf journey over the past year. Not only has it helped me shave a number of strokes off my round, stay tuned to learn all about that, but it's also helped me solve a medical issue that put my golf game at jeopardy. So if you guys like this type of content, go ahead and like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks everyone. Enjoy the video. Welcome back, guys. So I wanted to take you guys along the journey in golf that I've had. So I've been playing for about 3 years, kind of fell in love with it about 2 months in. But about a year into it, I started to have a lot of wrist pain. So I'd play, somehow survive through a round of golf, specifically my right wrist would be in just a ridiculous amount of pain. More often than not, could not really use my right hand for a couple of weeks. And the worse I played, the more strokes I had, the worse it got. And funny how that works, right? And so I gave it a couple of months, icing it, doing all that other good stuff. And honestly, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to play golf. So got recommended to go see some physical therapists, did all that, and honestly, it did not work. Through a friend, I got recommended to come see my buddy Josh here with Lake Norman Golf Clinic. And somebody told me that he'd be really good at helping me out. So came out here, got to meet Josh. He did all sorts of stuff to me, which we'll talk about in a second. But I'd say honestly, within like a week or two, I started to be able to play again with actual relief and decided to enjoy playing again. So I wanted to bring this to you guys. The whole style of work that he does really works for me. In terms of how I learn, the things I do, it just really works for me. And I thought, hey, why not bring this to you guys? As new golfers, or even seasoned golfers, you're gonna see a lot of things that have been injuries that come along the way. For me, go figure, it happened right as I started playing, so that wasn't great. But I'm gonna let Josh here talk a little bit about the Lake Norman Golf Clinic, what he does, how he does it, because it has been pretty game-changing for me, and like we've developed a pretty good friendship through this as well. So just introducing Josh to get that.
Awesome, thanks Rohan. So Lake Norman Golf Clinic, I just started it this year. My main goal with it was, since I am a physical therapist by trade, my main goal with it was really taking the time to analyze how a golfer moves his body, how good or bad his mobility is, and really looking at their strength as well. So that's how it started.
Yeah, so you had a lot of fun with mobility with me. I'm not the smallest dude in the world, and so that was a big learning point for me as well.
Yes, so I do a 16-point screen, and I think the most important ones from that is that our body has 4 rotary movements and body parts that we look at, and it comes from shoulders, it comes from your hips, it comes from your thoracic spine, and it comes from your neck. So those are the main things we really like to clear out to see, hey, how are those moving? Are they rotating properly? Are their strength properly there too as well? So when Rohan had initially come to me with some wrist pain, it was ironic because he said, hey, the only thing that really hurts is when I play golf. So his wrist didn't really hurt with much other things. So I said, hey, well, usually if something's here and we look everywhere to see, hey, what's going on? So when originally we started working, we noticed that his shoulder strength was not the strongest. And because of his background of playing cricket, he did have just a little bit of a different path in his swing from his shoulder. So that's what we really worked on. And I think that that's what really helps. So our main goal here is, hey, where can we get you moving better? What can we get stronger? And then how can we apply that into your golf swing, right? So initially when we start, we do a 16-point mobility screen that I did with Rohan, and then we hop on and we look at the swing, where we really look at 4 main things, which I really like to look at with you when we looked at it was, are you coming over the top? Is there any early extension? Are you casting early? and are you swaying? Are you swaying, or are you just not pivoting properly? Main things we look at off the bat, and we kind of pull it up on video so that we can really make sure, hey, you gotta hit and swing properly if we really want to avoid injury. So that's how it mainly started with Rohan. And he started having kind of very limited wrist pain, just looking at that, and then just switching a couple of things in his swing really worked for him, which is great. Makes my job easier when the student is good.
Yeah, so Josh doesn't actually know this. In the time that I've been working with him, and look, when you guys, as you're getting into golf, you're gonna see people say, go get a lesson, and that's true. There's nothing quite like that. For me, this type of work worked much better than the one-off lesson that people would give, right? Like, you think about golf, you're gonna spend 4 or 5 hours out there. You wanna enjoy it a little bit. I know I wanted to get better at it, so this worked out really, really well for me. The part he doesn't know is I was doing a comp before I got here. And just in this year, I've shaved 10 strokes off of my route, very consistently. So that you know, just the having the relief of the wrist and the change in swing is just become something that has helped me a lot. Now we were talking about this earlier. When I go to a range, if I know I'm doing something, if I'm pulling the ball to the left, I already kind of know what are my habits, right? Like I know what are my habits, I know where to go look. So that's really helped a lot, because let's be honest, you don't want to go out there and you are slicing every single ball and you don't know what to do. If you haven't started playing, guess what? That's going to happen to you. If you haven't been playing, you already know what happens to you. So having a little bit of work like that has really changed my ability to play this year.
Yes, and that's the reason I wanted to start and kick off like Norman Golf Clinic, just because I've played golf basically my whole life. And the one thing I did notice is lessons are great, and that's good. And you should take lessons if you start, because hey, you need to know and need to have a foundation of how do you even swing and hit the ball. But as you're progressing through it, injury prevention I think is key. Right, I want everybody to be on the golf course as much as possible, right? Everybody enjoys their time out there, right? So we want to stay on the golf course as much as possible, and being able to move your body, being able to be stronger actually helps you in your golf lessons, where if your golf instructor wants you to do a certain move, sometimes it might just be that you just physically can't get there. That's where my role is a lot of times is, well, let's get your body to move there. Now when you go back and get that lesson, you can move your body through that.
Yeah.
Makes the golf instructor's life easier, makes your life easier. So that's really where I come in and play a lot of times with most golfers that are just looking to improve their game, take their game to the next level.
Yeah, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna go through the short lesson. Forget about lesson. This is just how Josh and I work. When I come in and I say, hey, I went and played and I couldn't hit the driver at all, right? So I'm sure I'm a little bit difficult to work with at times, but I come in here kind of knowing, hey, this is what I look at today. So we're gonna go through a short lesson so you guys can see exactly what this looks like, and one of why it's been a game changer for me.
Okay, so being at the range.
Okay.
And I'll have periods of consistency. So pretty good ball flight, straight, no problem. But then my wrist angle goes wrong, and I start pulling left.
So you feel like you're pulling everything left.
Yeah.
When you feel your wrist
and it's
angle
very predictable. Like it's not a hook.
Yeah.
It's just out left.
It goes straight left. Doesn't take a big hook. Okay.
No.
What do you feel when your wrist angle? What are you feeling?
So the thing I'm noticing is my left wrist is starting to bend and cock early.
Okay.
Right.
So you're not really getting.
I can't
You're
I
not
struggle
getting a
to keep struggle to keep it there. I have come up with kind of my own fix.
Yeah.
But I haven't figured out how to keep it consistent, right?
Yeah.
So for you guys, I'm left-handed, but I swing right-handed. So naturally what ends up happening in my swing is my left hand is trying to be very dominant. I know that works for some people, but for me, if I can keep my left hand more neutral and use my right hand as the guide,
Yeah.
right? Then this stays in a better position.
Okay.
But it's just very hard to do it consistently all the time.
What ball flight are you searching for when you hit an iron? What do you have there? 7-iron?
Yeah, 7.
So what are you searching for? A draw? A fade?
No, no, yeah. So it's gonna be like a baby fade.
A baby fade?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a couple swings so I can see what's happening. Do your normal swing though. Don't try to switch anything.
Yeah. Okay. Just swing.
Just swing what's comfortable. Okay. I don't want you to change much. Okay. How did that swing feel?
Forced. Like on the downswing, it's feeling
Okay.
right. It doesn't feel as smooth, and like the distance is clearly
Yeah.
way off as well.
What are you typically carrying? When do you hit 7-iron?
Like 160-ish.
160-ish. All right,
160-ish.
give me another swing.
And then that one clearly I hit way behind it as well. So the good news
So that
here
one looked good.
is it's going fairly straight, yeah.
Okay.
And it may be a thing where, like, as I'm getting tired, sorry.
That one felt good.
It felt
like,
better.
hey, that felt good. Yeah, so that's like typical.
Yeah, it felt
Okay.
way better.
So when you're having trouble with those hooks, right? Because it's going to change, like you said, tired, right? Depending what's happening that day. Our body changes every
Yeah,
time we're on the
yeah.
course, right? So for a lot of people out there, what you want to do to really focus on that, to make sure like, hey, I'm not really trying to get there, right? Is wherever that ball is, right? When you're practicing, okay, and we're going to work on that, right? You want to pretend there's like a straight line back, okay? So the line's not here, right? The easiest way is to put an alignment stick that kind of goes straight back, okay? Do you have an alignment stick? Perfect. So we line it up here. We put an alignment stick directly behind. Don't put it too close in case you hit it fat, and then you'll be mad. All right, so it'll be here. And then what I want you to do is, as you're taking it back, okay, you're trying to keep that wrist angle, okay, kind of out towards it. So your club face is staying shut through that line for just that maybe third of a movement right here, okay? Right? Because if you're having trouble, right, and you keep going to this wrist hinge here,
Yeah.
what's going to happen is the minute you go to your wrist hinge, okay, you're going to be there, or you're going to start turning here. Being out here helps you keep that wrist angle, okay, and then you turn.
So go through the motion after this point.
Okay.
Like
so,
what happens after this
So
point?
you line up here, you have your target, okay. That first movement here, it's just your chest and your arms in a triangle,
Yeah.
right? Face, club face pointing to the ball. And then from this point, you're trying to go up towards the ceiling with the back of the club while you finish your rotation.
Okay.
Because that's going to take you to that parallel here.
Okay.
Okay. If you're here and you don't get the back of that club head up towards the ceiling, right, you're just going to roll it.
Yeah.
So now look where that club head's facing, and then here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to try to overcompensate, and you're going to block it because you feel off in your
Yeah.
wrist angle. Okay.
Yeah.
So the most important part in that piece is your takeaway, because if you could set up your takeaway where it's in a good spot every time, your body is just going to adjust to that turn.
So like the first third.
Yeah. And then remember, when you land, okay, you're trying to get the back of your hand to go towards the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one thing, and by no means am I an instructor, pro, none of the lot, but something that's really helped with working with Josh is I've kind of broken my swing up into pieces, right? Because it's a golf swing. There's a lot going on,
Yeah.
right? It's relatively quick. You have this much space, which is really more like the size of a penny, to hit a golf ball, and if you want to hit it straight. So I started to break up my swing into almost thirds, and just where my positions need to be.
Yeah.
So you'll hear me talking about thirds because that's the way I think about it. That's the way I process it, to be able to practice it.
Just remember, every time you change something in your swing, the first couple swings never go as planned.
Yeah.
So don't ever let that get to you.
Yeah, there have been days where I left here and I felt like I couldn't hit the ball. So, but honestly, with a bit of range time, which is what I usually do after a session, spend a couple of weeks just at the range.
Yeah.
Usually come back with something better.
Yeah. I want you to try a couple, but first I want you to stop. Yep. I want you to stop at that.
Why does that
3-4.
feel like you're almost going out? Is it supposed to?
Because you're so used to coming in,
Yeah, okay.
right? It looks good. If I like that
Yeah.
right there, that looks good. You need to come directly here,
Okay.
right? Or else, if you just come inside here, you're gonna trap yourself.
Yeah,
There's gonna be no room for your body to move.
okay.
So you're not. Yeah. Take it a third of the way and pause. Okay. Good. Good. Right there. Good. All right, hold
So
it
really
there.
keeping it down?
Yeah, and then from there, finish that backswing. Good. Good. And then you're going to go through it. Good.
Okay.
Good. There you go. Get to that third spot. Good. Right there.
A little bit behind it, but that felt
Yeah.
actually way better.
I know the viewers can't see it, but it won't pull up on here. I don't think so. Where is it? So your club path was just a little outside.
Okay.
Right, you want to go in to out. You kind of came out to out.
Hey,
But that path is a lot better.
So I have a favor to ask you. So just like everybody else, I've used YouTube a lot to teach myself, right?
Yeah.
Which I know people say don't do. And so you're going to see a lot of videos that have pretty much all of this information on there, right?
Yes.
Would you care to explain what these things are?
I will give you the only 3 things that should matter.
That matter?
to you.
Okay, perfect. That's even better, right?
Either your total distance or your carry. Okay, carry is how far the ball, it's where the ball lands, and then your total is how far it rolls out. So that's an important number because you actually want to know your carry distance with your clubs.
Yeah.
Because that's when you know it's going to hit. Okay.
Yeah.
So not your total distance, how much it's going to go hit. Okay. Your launch angles, right, is the angle that your ball launches at. That's an important one to keep track of because if it's too high, it just depends on the club you hit. So each club will have a different thing. It's just
Yeah.
a lot to explain now. But for example, like a driver, you would want about 16-degree launch angle, like typically. You can go less or more depending on your game, but that's
Yeah.
just kind of like typical, okay? And then it's your ball speed here is how fast the ball travels off your club face. Really for that, it's, hey, the higher that number, the further the ball will go.
Yeah.
So that's just going to vary. But that's a good number to keep in mind. And a lot of people hitting driver will keep an eye on that because if you want to gain distance, that's a good measurement for you to use to see if you're getting better at that. Backspin is just how much spin you have on the ball, right? So how many revolutions per minute. So that one was just a little above 7,000, which typically isn't bad with a 7-iron. And then, so everything else here, like it went a little to the right. So if you ever have a direction that says right, that means you hit a little bit of a fade. And that's why you had like some side spin here. So some right-sided side spin. So that's why you did hit a little bit of a fade. So it didn't completely keep it shut. But also when you look at, which it's not here right now. It only pulls up after you hit, but you went out to out. Okay, so you took the club out. So after you take it a third of the way, I want you to still try to turn those shoulders. Yeah, there you go. So that you could hit on the inside pocket.
Okay. Let's try that again. felt really thin.
Yeah, sounded thin. Just pulled it left.
So this is an example of you make a very small, what seems like a really small change, and it feels like everything else is different because of it. But that's pretty normal.
Go a little bit slower on this one. So try not to kill it. And really try to make sure that that club face is kind of pointing to the club on your way back. Remember that first 30%. Good. Good. So a little fade again.
Yeah.
You swung really easy on that one though. You didn't really swing at it. Yeah. So your wrist angle is getting better there, right? But another thing that really matters too of how much you can turn there, right?
Yeah.
Is also like how much mobility are in your shoulders,
yeah.
right? Because if you don't have a lot of mobility in one shoulder versus the other, okay? So like if you put your arms up like this, okay? And then the best you can really try to go back, right? So keep your neck straighter. So reset for me. Good. Go again. Okay. You're jutting your neck out, which means you don't have that mobility, right?
Yeah.
You would want to be able, if I could get you in the spot like that. Yeah, you see how tight that is?
Yeah.
So you would want to be able to get in that spot and then watch this side too, put it up, right? If you can't really get in that spot,
yeah.
like I got to push you there, you're kind of like right here naturally.
Yeah.
So that's going to keep your elbow open.
Okay.
So you're going to flare out this way versus staying in, which is going to help you get inside.
Yeah.
So a lot of it too always gets tied back to what's going on in your rotary joint. Thank you for listening and thank you for tuning in. I do have some very exciting news for everybody. Lake Norman Golf Clinic is going to switch over and we're going to rebrand over to Par Performance Physical Therapy. And I'm very excited about this because I really think this is that key component to anyone that wants to take golf and their game to the next level, because as a physical therapist, we will be focusing on getting you out of that pain. So no more lingering low back pain, no more lingering shoulder pain. We're gonna get you out of the pain. We're gonna get you back on the golf course and we're gonna make sure that you can move better, you can prevent that from happening again. And we really want everybody to be able to stay on the course healthy. We want everybody out there playing, because we know how much fun it is to be out there playing rather than being home. And I really am excited about this opportunity. And I just want to let everyone know that if they follow my Instagram page and my website now, which will be tagged, there will be more information coming up. So if you're ready to get out of pain and if you're ready to elevate your golf performance, please follow me. Thank you very much.